Hello everyone, today I'm going to help you with your portrait drawing today, and today we're going to focus in on just how to draw a really good eye. So we're going to look at the features of an eye, we're going to use some line and shading techniques, and we're going to give it a go. So you're going to need your pencil, a sharpener, a rubber and a piece of paper. So let's get started. Okay, so today we're going to have a go at trying to draw a sort of realistic looking eye. Now, eyes will be all sorts of different shapes, but there'll be lots of elements that are the same, particularly as the eyeball itself. So we're going to start just by just creating, I guess, a shape of an eye. So I'm going to bring maybe a curving shape around the top. Again, all eyes are different shapes, so and I'm just making this one up. And then down in this corner here, I'm just going to bring a little curve around. This will be the inside of the eye, and I now need to bring that shape around like a sort of a long, thin, I guess a lemon type shape. Bring that to a point. And I'm just doing this very, very lightly, because I might want to rub it out, make some changes along the way. Okay, now the next part of this is I need to add in the actual the eyeball part of it. So I'm just going to just create a circle. Now it's really important that this is a circle. Now I'm just going to try and draw this. You're welcome to trace around something if you need to, but I'm going to have a go at drawing my circle. Okay, now I'm going to draw my next circle now, which is the pupil, which will be the black part. And I need to make sure that that sits nicely in the middle of this circle, creating sort of like a donut, I guess. Okay, now doing this really lightly because I'm going to rub some things out. Now I want to create a little bit of shine in this eye, so I'm just going to put in maybe a shape. I might do, you can use like circles or triangles, or I'm going to use this sort of a shape just across the top here. I'm even add some little circles just to create a shininess to the eye. Now I need to just rub out the inside of that part there. That will create shininess. Okay, I'm just going to put in an eyelid as well, which will be a thin line that comes over the top. Okay, and just a thin line along the bottom. The eyelids that run along the bottom. Okay, now once I've got this part, I'm going to now just round off the inside of this section. Okay, and there. Okay, now what I'm going to do next is just some, I guess, some clever shading techniques. So first of all, I'm going to colour in the inside, the pupil part. Just make that nice and dark. I'm pressing quite hard now to really darken up those lines. I'm just making sure I really fill in the space, keeping this really filled in. Okay, now for the next part, which is normally the coloured sort of part. So I'm just going to keep that shininess here. Okay, and now I'm going to just darken up the edge of this, making sure I really keep that nice edge to it, keep it nice and round. Okay, and I'm just going to colour this in, and I'm just going to use lines. This is the way I like to do it. Just running lines all the way around that sort of radiate outwards, which is the way, I guess, that part of the eye works. Okay, now I'm just going to blend that with my finger. Don't mind getting my fingers a little bit dirty doing this. Okay, now to really make this stand out, I'm just going to add some of those lines in. Just some sort of here and there. Making sure they sort of radiate outwards from the center. And then along the outside, I'm just going to just sort of make that line a little bit more jiggity-jaggedy, I suppose. Just add some of those little lines in. Okay, and we can even light this up a little bit. So I'm just going to, with my rubber, just sort of rub it through the middle. Just to get a little bit of lightness to it. I'm just going to make sure also that this shiny part here, you'll have to get right into the corner of your rubber. Just to make sure that's nice and white. Okay, they're starting to look a little bit shiny. Now, the eyeball will also be a little bit sort of a grayer here with some more shiny areas. So, but first I'm just going to just darken up the top of this eyelid. I'm just going to thicken this line. Okay, and now with this bottom line though, I'm going to keep this a lot thinner. It's darker at the top, there's a bit of shadow, and usually a bit lighter along the bottom. Just bring that curve around here. in this little corner here, there's normally sort of little parts of your eye. So I'm just going to just bring another line here. Maybe put like a little circle in there. Just shade that in a little bit. Something like that, just to show that there's an inside. And because our eyeball is round, like a sphere, I'm just going to create some shadow around the outside. And I'm just doing this very, very lightly so that I can just smudge it. If I do it dark, I can't really smudge it. Maybe a little bit along the top too. And then just very gently, just going to smudge that in like that. And if you find that it's too dark, you can always take it away. I'm going to put a little bit of shading around the top here. And again, also just a little bit down in this corner. Just using a little technique here called cross hatching, just lots of little crossing lines. Okay. Now, don't be afraid just to rub a little bit around here just so that it's not quite so white. And then we can also then use our rubber if we want to even create some shininess to even this part of the eye. Okay, now with this part of the eye, we're now going to, up here I'm looking, so I'm just going to darken up this eyebrow a little bit. Just darken up the top of that eye, and I'm just going to just shade that a little bit. Okay, and I'm just going to put in another, just a part of the eyelid in a minute. I'm just thickening this up a little bit. Okay, let's put in the top part of the eyelid. Some little creases down here, depending on the eye that you're drawing. Now the nice thing about this type of drawing, I'm really just making this up, so but I do know that there are some common features that must go. So just a little bit of shading along here, and I'm doing this very lightly. I'm really just putting the pencil onto the page, just enough so that I can smudge it. Okay, now just to get a little bit of that shading, I'm just going to rub my rubber along the top here, just to now take some of that away again. Okay, and we better put some eyelashes in. Before I do, I'm just going to shade just around the top of this eye, just so it's not so white. Just a little bit of pencil along here. Okay, just blend that in. Whoops. Just smudge it. Again, to get the best smudging, just put your pencil on very lightly. Some people press really hard and it's hard to smudge that. Okay, let's put some eyelashes in. Now for my eyelashes, I'm just going to really just sort of flick this up, starting from this sort of line, and just flicking them up. You'll need lots of these. So I'm just starting from this line, almost like a little sort of a tick, a little flick to this. Making sure they're sort of heading outwards as we come around the eye. And as we get down here, we'll really flick them out to the side. And you can just sort of work it, add in as many as you need. We'll come along this way now. Now, as we come this way, they get a little bit less, a little bit shorter too. You just keep doing it until it sort of looks right. Add in as many as you feel is necessary. Okay, now just along the bottom of this eye, we'll just finish this corner off here. Just to give it a nice, neat little corner. And then again, I'm just going to bring a very light line around here. And again, we now need some eyelashes down the bottom, but before we do, I'm just going to darken up just underneath the eye a little bit, just to give a little bit of shading to show that it's a curved shape and that there's a little bit of shadow in there, maybe even a little bit darker in here even still. And the trick is just to keep working on it until it sort of looks right. Okay, and I'm just going to add some shading underneath the eye. Now the idea of this shading is that it'll really make the white parts really stand out. And again, I'm doing this super light. I call this sort of feathering because I'm doing it really lightly as though I'm brushing a feather over the top. I'll just go the other way. And if you can do this very light, and if you feel that it's still not dark enough, then you just add some more. Okay, let's smudge that in. Okay, and I'm just going to run a little bit of shadow under here, just like I did with the top one. But I just want a little bit of lightness to this, so I'm just going to run my rubber along the top. Maybe run it along here. Okay, and again, let's put some eyelashes in. Just darken this line first. And some little eyelashes. These ones are not so long. Okay, and of course we're going to put an eyebrow in, so let's go always a little bit darker. I like to just start with the shape. Okay, normally eyebrow probably got a bit higher than this, but I'm just running out of space on my page. Now again, when we do this, we're just going to try and keep in that shape and just use lots of lines. Keep your pencil nice and sharp. Using those sort of flicking tick sort of motions. Okay, and then I'm going to come up from the other side now, the other way. Just going to blend it a little bit, just darken it up. A few little stray ones at the end. Just keep working it until it looks sort of right. You know, maybe just bring a few little ones down the end here. Okay, maybe you can just put a little bit of just lightness underneath there, just by running your rubber around. Okay, and now just sort of having a look and just touching up things that, you know, sort of need to be right. If it doesn't sort of look right, put a little bit of shine in there. Just anywhere you think it needs to add or change. Anything you're not happy with. Okay, often when you're moving your hand, you sort of smudge things a little bit, so you might just want to go back and just, you know, clean things up a little bit. Just going to clean up the shine in that eye. I've smudged this sort of shininess, so I'm just going to just use my rubber to just tidy that up a bit. Yeah, look at that, it's coming up really white now. Okay, just darken up this part. A little part of it smudged off. You know, you just got to keep working on it, just keep looking at it thinking, maybe that needs to change, or maybe it would look better if I darkened this or lightened that. Okay, maybe even add in a few little, you know, just looking, just thinking, oh yeah, that could, a few more of those could look good, or maybe that's too many, I'll take some away. Okay, I mean, you could just keep working on this until you really get it looking good. Could even just darken that a tiny bit. Just there. And then just play around with it till it looks right. But anyhow, that will get you started. That's the basic idea behind an eye, just to getting some of those little features and details in. Give it a go, have some fun with it. Try both eyes, try different shapes of eyes, like as in the outside. You can have some thinner, closed or open, however you want to do it. But just make sure you get it nice and round in the middle, get some nice shading, put the shininess to it, and I'm sure it will look great.